you're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with uatv. Ukrainian education, with its almost 100% of literacy rate and high amount of school graduates striving for higher education, can be country's growth point and leverage for further sustainable development. But experts and government agree on the fact that in order to succeed, serious reform is needed at all educational levels. And we're welcoming in our studio today Volodymyr Kovtunets. He is the first Deputy Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine. Hello, Volodymyr, and thank you for coming.
Hello.
So the most controversial thing about educational industry in Ukraine is currently the language law. How is the process of implementing the language law going right now?
Sorry, it is not a language law, it is only article on language in education law, basic education law. And of course we successfully implement the recommendation of Venice Commission. Right this week, government approved draft law, which prolonged term for implementation language article in secondary education up to 2023. And we hope that during next months, Parliament will adopt this law. And we are drafting a new law on secondary education to implement Venice provision concerning language of teaching, learning, and concerning especially languages, lingual rights of private.
So basically, we're trying to meet the demands of Hungary and the Hungarian people who were against the first draft of the language law.
We cannot understand correctly what are real demands of Hungarian side, Hungarian state, because we proposed bilateral conversation with different neighbors to implement our law on bilateral basis. Our negotiations with Romania are very successful. We resolved all problems with Poland, with Moldova, with Bulgaria. And we suggested to resolve in such a way, in the same way, problems with Hungary. But the process was interrupted this week. Hungarian community did not continue process of negotiation concerning education law.
Under what reasons they decided to stop the negotiation process?
It is difficult to explain correctly because we have to ask other side, but from some information, different parts of Hungarian community in Ukraine, in the Carpathia Oblast, have different point of view on resolving this problem. It is one side, and from other side, Hungarian government proposed to wait for constitutional law decision because there was submission.
That could take years.
Yes, this process may continue for 1 or 2 years usually, and we would like to resolve problem in a more simple way because I am afraid that Constitution Court could not resolve fully this problem because our law, our especially article on languages, is based on constitutional law court decision from 1999. So it's already constitutional.
Apparently. Well, hopefully that is going to be resolved anytime soon. Now, moving on to higher educational establishments of Ukraine, we have quite a lot. Actually, to be precise, it's 288. But is the quality of the education students get in those educational facilities are as numerous and as high as the quantity of them? Because currently and recently the rankings and the indexes show that only quite a few, or to be precise, 1 or 2 Ukrainian universities actually end up being ranked. Others do not even qualify. Why?
It doesn't mean that our higher education is bad or has low quality.
What does it mean then?
Sometimes our university has not funds, has not sufficient financial autonomy to participate in such worldwide ranking. Because it needs some money to participate in such ranking, present information, to hire some specialists to prepare this information. So it doesn't mean that our university education is bad. From other side, we have more than 60,000 international students in Ukraine, and number of students increases this period, especially in medicine.
So medical professions are at top of the list right now, among the most popular ones, which is good, which is a good shift, because before that we had economists, right, attorneys, and something like that, and now we have
lawyers
and lawyers.
Yes.
Right? Well, attorneys, lawyers. Okay, now it's medical workers, which is not a bad thing actually, but we have only so much medical universities that actually give medical education. Does it mean that we need to enlarge the quantity?
No.
Somehow, or change the profile of the existing ones?
We have another aim. We don't wish to increase number of students. We try to increase quality of education, especially in public universities.
By doing what?
In different ways. Number of students funded by state budget is increasing, and we think now we have about 50% of school graduates entering university on state budget.
With the help of the state budget. Okay.
And really, we need not more than 30%. It is average share in European countries.
How needed are the specialists that come out of our universities? How needed are they abroad? Clearly, they are needed in Ukraine, but does the international arena, international market, does it strive for our students?
I told about medicine. More than 40% of international students study medicine in Ukraine, but very high demand we have concerning maritime education and aviation education. Education, and we have to put more money in developing this sector of education.
What about IT industry?
I think the industry is rather sufficient level, and we have to increase quality of this education, more close to labor market needs. But concerning aviation and maritime education, there is big demand on international level. For example, Ukrainian National Aviation University of Kyiv this year has to start Chinese-Ukrainian Air Cosmic Institution in Hangzhou, in China.
Okay.
And Chinese side is completing, constructing a building, 5,000 square meters, to put this Ukrainian Chinese institute in China.
Well, that's
Other Ukrainian
really
universities have got such suggestion to participate in higher education of China. Our mathematicians, physicians, students studying chemistry and biology are highly estimated in European countries.
Okay, like every other industry that is in any other country, the educational system does have its flaws, right? Does have its problems that need to be battled and tackled. And if we're talking about Ukrainian educational system, then we go to corruption, cheating, and plagiarism. How can we fight that?
Yes, we have, but we adopted a law. Article 42 of Law on Education is devoted to problem of academic integrity.
So that's what it's called.
Yes, and
okay.
we introduced such a notion as academic liability for violation of principles of educational, of academic integrity. For example, students or professors who violated principles of academic integrity may be forbidden to occupy some positions in universities. And I hope that as soon as possible we apply these provisions. For example, 2 weeks ago, Ministry cancelled decision of special academic councils on granted doctoral degrees with regard to plagiarism. Without right to repeat this defender of the dissertation.
Okay.
And now we consider some another such cases, and really we have good trends. Now, but dissertation in some fields, for example, in philosophy, extremely reduced.
Well, that is a good sign. Hopefully, these flaws are going to reduce in every little corner of the educational system of Ukraine. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this information with us. That was Volodymyr Kovtunets. He is the first Deputy Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned with UATV for more information.